to Letters from Her Garden, a sanctuary of letters for the woman becoming. Today we are going to talk about the pursuit of peace in nervous system regulation so we can grow and glow together. If you are a woman in her journey for the pursuit of peace, pleasure, prosperity, and purpose, you have come to the right place, because today we are going to base it in biblical verse. So the other day I was reading the books of Proverbs 14:30, the book of Proverbs 14 verse 30, and it says, "A heart at peace gives life to the body, but jealous rots the bones." Now let me ask you this in a very gentle manner. How many times have you ever experienced a feeling where it feels like your entire body is aching? Let me explain. There was a season in my life where I used to wake up, log onto my phone first thing in the morning, then start scrolling on social media, seeing what everybody else is doing, just absorbing all the curated feeds. Well, it could serve as an inspiration. I came to notice that at the end of my 1 hour or more of scrolling, I will have these headaches. I will have my heart hurting, my chest will ache, my bones will feel so achy. And I was wondering what is going on. And then after that, I felt like I was so behind in life. I had an inner turmoil, some kind of resentment. And this doesn't mean that I wasn't happy for the people that were experiencing all the joys of life. It just means that I had consumed that content to the point where my soul, my heart, my body did not know what to do with it. So today we are going to talk about the pursuit of peace without shame in nervous system regulation so we can experience peace, joy, purpose, pleasure, and prosperity. So the first thing we are going to do today, we are going to look at three things that we can pursue this peace in, and that's going to be peace in mindset, peace in motherhood or womanhood. You don't have to be a mother for you to pursue peace. And then we are going to talk about peace without shame. Without that, if you stay to the end, we are also going to talk about the roadmap with which we can use to pursue this peace so that we can regulate our nervous system and release the shame. If you're ready for that, let's get to it. So the first thing we are going to talk about is peace. Peace is holy. Peace is the balm that nourishes the bone. If you look at your skin and you notice that you have an ashy area on your legs or your ankles, you are going to get the moisturizer and moisturize it. So you are going to look at peace as something like that, because as the Bible tells us, a heart at peace gives life to the body. Okay, let's hold that in mind. So we are going to look at peace as a mindset. This year, there has been a lot of turmoil in my life, in my family. There was a lot of change, a lot of things happening. And with that turmoil came the lack of peace. So last week, we finally experienced a breakthrough. And with that breakthrough, we did what we wanted to do, the thing that felt most peaceful. We went to the beach, and the beach was beautiful. The waves were fabulous. We saw a sea lion. And when the waves came out, those waves were actually very fast. As the waves came out and touched our feet, the water was cold, but it washed me with this peace that I just cannot put it in words. There was this peace that felt so calming. And it occurred to me that peace is not a destination that we stumble upon. Peace is going to be something that we pursue every single day of our lives. Peace is something that we protect. Peace is something that we nurture. It is the way that we decide to feel in our inner world. So let's look at peace as a mindset. When you pursue peace, it does not mean that you are not going to experience struggle, even though, just hear me out. Lack of struggle in life will be absolutely amazing. But in this world, we experience pleasure and we experience some turmoil. The question is, how are we going to let our inner world feel? Peace as a mindset is going to help you regulate how your inner world is going to respond to the outer world. So whatever you do, make sure that you guard your heart and protect your peace. All right? The second thing we're going to look at is peace in motherhood. Many times we are told that even though I cannot point exactly who says it, but it always has that feeling that when we pursue peace, especially as women or as mother, when we put ourselves first, it feels as a selfish self-indulgence. But the truth is that peace in motherhood or womanhood, if you are not a mother at the moment, if you pursue peace, peace becomes the thing that smoothes the rough edges in your day-to-day basis. Just take a moment and inhale, exhale. Do you feel how that peace washes over you? When you pursue peace internally as a person, it becomes the very thing that helps you to make decisions. I can make decisions a lot better when I am at peace. I can sit in stillness and wait for my time a lot better when I am in peace. I can mother my children a lot better when they see me at peace. They not only learn from my words, but they also experience that I can be a sweetheart to my husband a lot better when I am at peace. So you are going to make it a habit to pursue peace for your well-being. Pursuing peace is not selfish. Pursuing peace is an act of protecting the very heart that God has entrusted you with. And don't worry if you don't know how to pursue peace. Well, everything else seems to be happening around the world. We are going to look at the roadmap with which we can pursue this peace. Now, let's look at peace without shame. There is no shame in peace. As a matter of fact, peace is a holy pursuit. Let's just pause at that. If peace was not important, God will not have allowed it to be in the Bible. So if you ever feel ashamed in pursuing peace, I need you to hit pause and remember that peace is a holy pursuit. Peace is the balm that you need in your body, the health thing that you need. Because when we don't have peace, we start harboring resentment. That's a bird. Have you ever come to a place in your life whereby the things you prayed for start feeling like the source of resentment? That comes when you don't have peace, right? So make sure that you pursue peace without shame. And we are going to look at some of the ways we can pursue this peace. We are going to explore the roadmap with which we can pursue peace without shame, peace, pleasure, purpose, and prosperity without shame, while also basing it in our biblical terms. If you're a Christian woman, if you're a woman seeking the source of the inspiration without the worldly rumor, you have come to the right place. And if you're one of those people who would love to read, you read it better and understand it better than listening to it, you can check the newsletter on this topic on my Substack, Letters from Her Garden. I wrote the entire piece there. It's a 7 minute read. You can take notes, you can internalize, and the importance of that is that you're also going to get some affirmation that will empower you throughout your day-to-day basis. Now, let's go ahead and look at the roadmap with which you can pursue peace without shame. All right. I have my notes as always. I have my notes and we are going to go through that. Now, while we are talking about this roadmap, I need you to understand that this is not me giving you homework. This is not just a random checklist. This is a soulful, lived in way that I try to live day by day basis so that I can change my inner turmoil into inner peace. This is me walking. I need you to think of it as us walking side by side with each other, stirring each other's spirit so that we can pursue the peace that we desire to regulate our nervous system. So the first way that we are going to pursue this peace, and while we are looking at this, also remember that peace is not the absence of struggle, but that will be the best thing ever. Peace is the golden goose that we are going to pursue without shame. The first way we are going to pursue this peace is waking up early before the noise. Now, I am not telling you to be a 5 a.m. morning person, but hear me out. Waking up early before the worldly noise to meet yourself and your creator will help peace wash over your day before the world chimes into what they need you to do. So if you're a mother, try and wake up even 30 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes before your family. If you're a mother, there's always going to be someone demanding something out of you. Before you start looking at the glowing screen and seeing how many likes you got on your work or seeing what's happening in the world, take the time to meet yourself, hear yourself thinking, say a prayer to God, read a Bible, read something, but make that first hour of your morning a sacred ground. Make it a sacred ground whereby you let peace anoint your being. The second thing we are going to do is write. We are going to write in order to untangle the soul and to script our desires. This is not just me telling you to start journaling. Matter of fact, journaling is not vanity. If you look at Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 2, it says, write the vision down and make it plain. There's more to that story, but it shows you the importance of writing. When you write, you meet your creator's desires in the writing. So if you're wondering, what can I write about? You can write about the things that are aching. You can write about your joys. You can write about your desires. You can write about the things you're grateful for. You can pray and ask God what to write about. You can write about that idea that's been keeping you up all night. Write it down, because when you start writing or putting your pen to paper, you start pouring it all out. And when you pour it out, you'll have something to come back to, something to read, something to leave for the future generation. You might not think that you are that smart, but you might actually have something. Your lived in experiences could change someone else's life. So take the time to write in order to untangle your own soul. I write to heal. Use your words to heal. Okay? Use your words to heal somebody. Use your words to encourage yourself or somebody else. Use your words for overflow. Write what's overflowing in your life right now. Just whatever you do, write something down to make you peaceful. When you write and empty your head down on paper, you create more room. If you also don't know what to write about, you could go for a walk, and in that, you'll come back with ideas. You could start writing about the weather, the trees. How was the sun coming through the window? If it was raining this morning, how were the raindrops trailing down the window? Those are some of the things you can start writing beautifully. If you went to schools where you were writing compositions and inches, start writing. Those are some of the things you can start writing to create that inner peace that you desire. The next thing we are going to do is build boundaries. And I need you to understand that boundaries are sacred fences. Our peace requires structures and walls to protect that peace. This does not mean that we are putting our boundaries to keep out love. Matter of fact, we are putting our boundaries to protect the love that we have and to keep out depletion. If you do not have boundaries, you're going to say yes to everything, and then you start resenting. And resentment is the poison that eats you from within. It's not going to eat someone else, it starts with you. So set up your boundaries. Boundaries help you protect your peace, protect your family. It helps you water the soil from which your family roots will grow. When you set boundaries, there is clear understanding. You cut out confusion. So set up the boundaries. And I am going to give you a verse for that. Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. How do you guard your heart? Start with boundaries. And there you have it. The next thing we are going to do is mother yourself. Oh, honey, I love this one. Mother yourself in order to mother well. You might say, well, I'm not a mother, but whatever you do, mother yourself. Here's what happens when you start mothering yourself. You mother yourself with the words that you speak over yourself. You mother yourself with how you take care of yourself. You mother yourself with how you dress. You mother yourself with the boundaries you put in place. When you mother yourself, you're able to mother well, and you're going to do this. Whatever you do, this is the biggest part for me. Speak positively over yourself. Speak life over your life. Do not use your mouth to criticize yourself consistently. Do not use your mouth to speak death over yourself. Use your words to speak life over yourself. I forget what the verse is, but there's a verse in the Bible that says that those who love the words of the mouth shall eat the fruit of it thereof. And it also said that from the tongue there's power of life and death. So mother yourself well to mother others well. How do you do this? You drink deeply. Lately, I've been doing this thing, the pleasures of life. I've been doing this thing where when I drink water, when I hydrate, or when I take any kind of beverage, I let it sink in. I let it nourish from within, experience it. Sometimes we are so rushed in life that we forget to enjoy the little moments of peace. So drink deeply. Eat food that nourishes your body. Go for a walk. Dress well. Perfume yourself. Let your perfume linger to awaken that woman within you. Use your words carefully to nurture yourself. And another thing I need you to remember, when you tend to the garden of yourself, the flowers, the petals, the fragrance from your petals will awaken and nurture those around you. Because if your cup is empty, you cannot pour onto others. I used to think that that word, that verse, or that phrase was vanity. But the truth is, when you try to do something else, when you're empty inside, nothing good comes out of it but resentment. Yes, we might see the success, yet yes, we might see the outcome, but deep down you will be experiencing the little deaths from within, the things that eat you from within. So mother yourself to mother others well. I'll give you a verse on that. Proverbs 31 verse 5, it says, she is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. How can she be clothed with strength and dignity if she's not taking care of herself? Darling, take good care of yourself. All right, let's go to the next one. Create as an act of worship. Lately we've been experiencing this push: create more, reach more, go viral, create 100 reels. And at the end of the day, I tend to ask myself, are we creating as a form of worship, or are we creating because we are chasing something else? So if you feel burnt out, take the moment to ask yourself, when you create, do you create with purpose to beat the algorithm and go viral? Yes, going viral might be nice, but I need you to understand that if your creation, if you create as a form of worship, and one or two people experience your work and their life is turned around, you will have accomplished something greater than chasing the algorithm and burning out. So create as an act of worship. Those are some of the ways you are going to experience peace. Because when you create as a form of worship, your words, you use your words to heal, and your words become the little seeds in the garden of life. You use your imagination, you use the creativity. If you look at it, God created. He was not chasing the algorithm. He was creating beauty. So when you create, when you use your words to write, when you draw or color the imagination in your mind, ask yourself, what is the highest form with which you can express the beauty that burns deep within? Create as an act of worship. The next thing we are going to do is speak truth over silence. Gone are the days where we used to believe that if you can say something nice, don't say anything at all. When you speak up, you protect your boundaries, you protect your peace. But above all, I pray that when you speak up in truth and in love. Do not speak up to kill the other person with your words, but speak up to protect yourself and the other ones. Let your words nurture. Let your words correct gently. If someone says something that goes beyond or over your boundaries, you can say, no, that is not funny. That is not a joke. It does not work for me. Speak up the truth, but don't smile and act like it's okay. And then in the night, you burn with resentment, because I have experienced resentment, and it eats you first before it eats the other person. Now let's go to the last but not least. Rest in reading and not in guilt. At the end of the day, when you lay down, release whatever you could not control unto or into the feet of the Lord and let it go. Sleep in peace and not in shame. Let's look at the book of Matthew 11:28. It says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. So whatever you do, let peace wash over you in reading and not in shame. Now I leave you this word, my dearest listener or reader. Peace is not found in grand escapes, but in these small daily choices. Each is a thread, and when woven together, they wrap you in the steady fabric of heart and rest. Peace does not arrive with a bow. It arrives in these little daily structures that you put in place. Now, if you want to explore the affirmations that go with this, I will encourage you to download my cards, and you can use them on a day-to-day basis. You can save them on your phone, and also do not forget to read the newsletter, because you'll get a lot more and you'll be able to take notes on the pursuit of peace without shame. And I also need you to understand this, or listen to this. May sweet life, free of struggle and strain, be your cup of tea. And I leave you with one affirmation: I choose to rise with peace in my heart. I choose to rise with peace in my heart, for the peace in my heart gives life to my body and those around me. Have a fantastic day. Until next time, if this is for you, or you know a woman who will enjoy this piece, share the work with them. Have a fantastic day, darling. Goodbye.